Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Isaiah with the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Lord willing, this is edifying. All right? And what I want to touch on tonight through the spirit is, all right, just going into, okay, it's dealing with the things that we're going to deal with, all right, for lack of a better term, like emotionally, all right, in this truth. Don't know. What's going on in this street? Streets closed like a mug. Anyways, dealing with, all right, one of the things we'll deal with in this truth, which is, all right, seeing homeless people, okay? Homeless people, you know, and homeless jakes, all right? Because that's just a fact of life, is that you have the poor, you have the homeless, all right? And what's bringing on this lesson is, you know, I was out trying to do little app jobs or whatever. I'm trying to reach a certain goal, all right? And I just so happened to come across a homeless, you know, a homeless woman or whatever the case may be. And she, you know, she was asking for money, man. She was just through, basically. Jake was through. She needed help, you know. And part of you wants to help, you know. Part of you wants to help. But from having been awakened and knowing the scriptures, you know, you kind of put everything in balance. Now, this is the second homeless person that's approached me tonight and asked me a question. And it's just like, part of you wants to help them, you know what I'm saying, for most people, you know what I mean, for most brothers. You know, but then it's like, how far does that help go? And also, how do you balance it out in the scriptures? Because the scriptures talk about, all right, know to whom thou doest good, right? So, you know, there's Jakes, you know, they're sitting out there, you know, the one guy is out there sitting out there smoking a cigarette, you know, and he's asking for money, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to reach a goal myself, you know, but I'm taking note of, like, you still out here sinning, you still out here killing your flesh, all right, standing in front of the store, ask me for a cigarette, no, not ask me for a cigarette, ask me for money, saying you need to get home, then ask me for a ride. And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, bro, you know, now we walk with faith, but we also walk with wisdom. And I'm like, I don't know what you got on you, dog. I don't know if you got no gun. Now, if I look at all the signs is pointing towards you still in the midst of sin, so you liable to do anything. You know, you asking me to come hop in my vehicle. Now, me walking on faith, yeah, there's faith, and then there's being dumb, you know. And I don't want to just be blindly dumb about a situation, just let you hop in, then you fuck around and rob me. The scriptures say, let not every man into thy house, how much more thy vehicle, okay? I don't know this guy, you know? So there's a level of walking with wisdom, you know? Not having fear. I spoke with him, but it's like, that don't seem like the wisest thing to do, you know? And then, even when dealing with the lady, you know, I don't know what she's into or what she does or whatever, but she seemed like she was a smoker. And then on top of that, it's like, it's just weird, you know? It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, you want to help sometimes, but you just, you know, you try to balance it out, man, you know? And the thing is, you know, when it comes to, like, the times that are coming, it's not going to be no ability to help. It's not going to be no hopping in and stopping somebody's judgment from happening. How about Shimei Shai is judging people, man, you know? And it's like the spirit is shifting towards being in that mindset. And Jacob's trouble, you know, it's going to be very scarce. People are going to be killing other people to try to get their resources, all right? So it's not going to be one of these, you know, we're standing out on the corner giving out food. I mean, we ain't doing that now, you know? You know, it's just weird, man. It's just a weird thing to even really talk about, honestly, you know? It's weird because part of you, like I said, wants to help and have this compassion, and the other side of it is, like I said, the Most High has them in that situation. You know, there's a remembrance of times where brothers may have been down and been in certain situations, but then there's the balance of we can't help everybody. There's the balance of knowing that the times that are coming, there's going to be a mass amount of people out on the corners. And you, if you're a man of the Lord, you're going to eat. You're going to have certain things. And these people are going to need certain things. It really was going to have to just be all through the Spirit of whether or not we give them those things. It's really a hard thing to even tell you what to do, because it's like, you know, the way that we've been programmed in our minds is that a person that doesn't do it is wicked. But that's not necessarily true, because like it says in the book of Tobias, or Tobit, Salakia, the book of Tobit, when Tobit was doing these different things for his people, in one particular instance, okay, he sat down to eat meat, right? He sat down to eat his food. But before he did that, he told them, well, look, this is too much meat for us. He told his son, I believe, look, this is too much meat for us. Why don't you go find somebody who's mindful of the Lord so that we may share our meat with him? You know? So the most important people you can do something for is someone who's in this truth, you know? And we understand these things through the scriptures. The scriptures, you know, there was the men who were speaking to Yahweh Shai when Yahweh Shai said, come follow him. And he was like, well, one guy said, well, look, let me go bury my father. And what did Yahweh Shai say? He said, let the dead bury their dead. You know? And also there was the woman who poured the ointment upon the head of Yahweh Shai, right? And one of the disciples got angry and said, well, look, man, we could have sold that ointment and gave the money to the poor. And he said, man, the poor you have with you always, but I am not going to be with you forever, because he was going to be crucified. You know, and the thing is, the times that are coming is there's going to be an increasing number of poor. But the scriptures say, forsake the foolish and go in the way of righteousness. Forsake the foolish and live. You see? And go in the way of righteousness. Like it. So, you know, it's just really crazy and hard to even tell you 144 and a 7. 144 in completion, you know. This is a hard topic for me. I don't know about other people, but to even sit here and just talk about considering like the point that's coming where it's gonna be like you may have it and you may have to be like, I ain't got it. Or you may have to shun an individual because they're wicked and they're being judged, and it's like you really gotta walk through the Spirit on that. Now, there's nothing wrong, you know, with giving alms. Alms cover a multitude of sins. And, you know, if it's on your spirit to give something to an individual, you're not being wicked. Okay, so let me balance that out by saying that. You're not being wicked. All right, if you do give to someone. But if that person's not of the elect, I don't know how much, you know, value it has to the Most High. It may have some value, it may not. The point is, when Yahweh Shai was telling people that they was going to get a reward, and that they had visited him and fed him when he was hungry and clothed him when he was naked, you know, well, that's because he said, as long as you do this to the least of my brethren, then you have done it unto me. All right? And so that's the balance of it. You don't know if one of these people might be of the elect. You have to go through the Spirit. You can't judge off of their clothes and this. People might repent later, you know, in these times that we're living in. But once the judgment is set and begins to happen, and when the word is taken off of the highways and byways, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it, man. It's just one of those things that, like I said, it's just even hard to think about, man. That time will come where people that ain't a part of this righteousness ain't really getting the mercy. The Most High, the mercy is going to be cut off. You see, the mercy is going to be cut off, man. And we just have to really, you know, go through the spirit of things, man. Be ye as pilgrims in the earth. You know, 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand and 10,000 at thy left, but it shall not come nigh thee or near thy dwelling, roughly paraphrasing. So it's like, you're not going to be able to stop nobody who's going to get judged at that time. And likewise, if you're a part of the elect, nobody's going to be able to prevent you from your salvation. You see? So these two things exist simultaneously. You know? No one's going to be able to prevent you, but also no one's going to be able to save them that have been condemned to that wickedness, to that destruction. Oh boy. I don't even know if this is even an edifying lesson at this point, because it's just like, you know, what do I say to you? I can't just go in here and just tell you, don't give to anybody. Because I don't feel like that's the right thing to just say don't give. Because there's nothing wrong with giving. The scriptures promote giving, but they also promote giving to the right individual. But how do you judge that? You know, I'll say, if I had to say anything about both situations, the guy who was smoking, to me, was an obvious choice to say no. And the woman the other woman who wanted to ask for some money was not such an obvious choice. But I didn't have it to give at that time. You see, I got goals I'm trying to reach at this time. So, you know, whatever the case may be, man. But yeah, I'm gonna probably just wrap it up there, man. You know, like I said, it's kind of a hard topic. I'll watch it over. If I decide it'll get posted, then you'll see it unedited.